Thanks for coming down and hanging out in the basement with me today. Well, what we've got is a super easy one. This is a number 1055 Texas Special that my son picked up at the Madison train show, the Madtown train show, here in February 2026. And what we're going to do is we're just going to pop the shell and do a quick service on this motor to make it run as efficiently as possible. And there's only a couple steps you really need. Really simple, especially on this model. This one doesn't even have a reverse unit in it. So, first thing, let's get it on the track, see what it does. So I did run this around a little bit, but because it has a headlight, it's going to show a little more amp draw than one without a headlight. So about 10 volts to get it going. We're 1.82 amps, somewhere in there. It's not super happy, but it's not bad at all. So we're running about 2 amps. There, it's kind of in its happy zone. Running a little freer. So, overall, this thing runs pretty good. Let's pop the shell and see what's inside. So these shells are super easy to pop off. One screw in the back. Gotta make sure you don't over tighten it, otherwise it will crack the shell. Lift it up at the back. Slide it toward the front, and we do not even have a weight in here. So that is kind of sad, actually, because this guy does not have any traction tires. We do not have any magnet traction. How can I tell? Because magnet traction is a thicker axle. Let me just grab another engine that's got those features. This is the 218 Santa Fe, and we've got double magnet traction here on this guy because we've got thicker axles. The magnets are actually in the axles, and that's what helps the wheels stick to the track. But this doesn't even have that. This is just a basic starter set kind of deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the brush plate off. We're going to inspect that, and then we're going to get rid of the old lubricant and apply some new stuff, and it should be good as new. So just this engine appears to be relatively untouched from new, which is great. We just pop our 2 screws off here. Very important that this wire gets back over here. You could add a reverse unit to this. It would need to be a 3-position. The 2-position reverse unit takes a extra set of windings on here. So we carefully rock this back and forth. We don't want to pry it. We don't want to be too rough with it. And we've got a very tight winding right here. Man, this is possible. This thing hasn't even been off. So let me grab my soldering iron and we will disconnect this wire. So all we have to do is apply a little bit of heat here. This guy's going to come right out. Piece of cake. Just that quick. Okay, we got that wire off. This came off super easy. Yeah, here's one of the problems with the way Lionel does it. They've got very strong brushes. I mean, they're not soft, they're dense, and they have a lot of pressure on them, and that just kind of wears the armature out. You can see in there we got just a lot of grinding marks. I'm gonna get that smooth with some Scotch-Brite, but the biggest thing is we are going to get rid of this sticky lubricant. And in moving this around, it's not bad. I'm just going to get in here with some cleaner. We're going to clean this out, and then I'll show you lubricating it. Super simple process. We've got everything cleaned up. The wear was not as bad as I initially thought. Just a little bit of Scotch-Brite, brown Scotch-Brite got this just perfect. So this thing probably doesn't have very many miles on it. So basically wiped off the old lubricant. Did the same thing here. Took my toothbrush, put some solvent on it, and just got rid of the lubricant, and it is running good. But of course we need lubricant on it still. So for lubricant, I just use 3-in-1 motor oil, but you can use whatever you want. There's all kinds of great stuff out there. I'm not going to say what you should use, but the main thing is anything that's rotating on a bearing gets oil. Anything that's a gear generally gets grease. So we're just putting just a little bit on the axles, on the center shaft here. And we're going to put a tiny bit on top of these idlers, this wheel right here, this wheel over here. Another thing I did was I took my tweezers here and I went in between these gears and got out any crud. There was not much in here. But another thing you want to do is look for any carpet fiber or hair or whatever. Get that out of there. And yeah, so I cleaned out that bearing too, and we are looking really good. I got a little bit of crud right here we'll get off. Get that out of here. Now the grease I'm using, nothing special. I use Super Lube as well. We're just, this gear will get coated more. We do have access to this gear. It's not buried but on the cover. The ones behind the cover I really like to get a lot of grease on, but alright, let's just get some of this excess off of here. This gear is one you want to use, put more on, more lubricant on, but it'll probably just get flung around anyway, no big deal. And for the other gears, we just put a hint of grease on the gears and it'll work its way around. There's not really much wear that's going to happen here anyway. Oh yeah, that's working good. Alright. Now this bearing we will not have easy access to, so we want to put some lubricant on that guy. We're just going to put it right here. This is also the superior kind of motor. This is a second design motor where this plate has been built up here and it's got a bearing up high. The bearing surface is right here. The older style had the bearing down at the bottom, and it is a crappy design. Okay, so we are good. Now we've got the top plate here. We're also going to want to put some oil on the felt. We can just soak that up, because that will put a tiny bit of oil on the shaft here. Don't want to put very much at all, just a hint of oil. So another thing I want to do, inspect the brushes, make sure they're not excessively worn. But these things had a lot of strength on them. But we can play with that later. I think they're a little too strong myself. A stronger spring will certainly work, but it causes more friction in the motor, and that's not good either. So, trick is to turn this upside down. We did have a couple washers on here. That's going to be a little more problematic. See what we can do here. I'm going to change out this washer. I don't think it should be a metal one. Let me look at my spares and we'll put a fiber one in there. Okay, so I found my washers here. I just bought these on trains.com just for this exact purpose. Remember, when they assembled these motors, it was just get it done as soon as possible, on to the next one, which is okay. Nothing wrong with that. It ran. We're going to put 2 on here. We'll see what our end play is. Hold it carefully upside down. Well, it doesn't have to be totally upside down, but just try to get these pegs aligned. Remember, you don't have to force anything unless something's bent. That was tricky. There we go. Alright, we're in. So I'm holding the motor down and I'm going to push the wheel up and down just to make sure I got some end play in here. And we got plenty. Like, that's a lot of end play. Okay. We don't have to get the spring into the slot on the brush, but it can help reduce tension a little bit here. Alright, I'll put this guy back on. And we will put this guy back on. If you have too much end play, you get a little more speed variation between forward and reverse, because when the motor goes the other direction, the armature will raise up too high, and if it raises up too high, it might contact the brush tubes, which would cause a lot of drag. Okay, so I need to solder this guy back over here. We will do, doesn't have to be perfect. This center lug is isolated, so I'm not worried about that. I'm just kind of rest it over here and maybe add a little fresh solder here. Just make sure it's on there good. And that is not doing anything. Let's see here. I can see it's not attached to it. There we go. That is good. Okay, will it work? Let's find out. Whoa, nice. Not bad. Let's watch it run around the track a little bit. Okay, so after that cleaning, we are below 2 amps. So that old oil was really causing a problem. That's running great. Look at that. 1.5. We dropped a half an amp. What a deal. Okay, let's put the shell on this thing. Wow, there we are at 10 volts, and this thing is just going like crazy at a 1.5 amp. We dropped a whole half an amp. And the headlight's still working. Wow, that is really cool. This thing is running much better than I expected. So, kind of makes me wonder if I should take this apart and get this working. But it is a different motor, so it's kind of apples and oranges kind of thing. Plus, when you have magnet traction, it does tend to slow an engine down, thus causing more power consumption. But there you go. Super easy to get that thing running, and that's what it takes to keep your engines running in top-notch condition. Now, could it have run like that for years the way it was? Of course. But it's working harder, and it's causing more current draw and more heat. This way, it's running much easier, less heat. It's going to last a lot longer. Thank you very much for watching. If you've got any questions, let me know, and be sure to check out the back catalog, because there's a lot of cool repair videos and other things there. I like it. Really good.